get out of it, and so he unravels some unsettling relationships. And the crime families he's with is a Russian crime family and then an Asian crime family, and they are essentially rivals. And they worked together for as long as they could, and then I'm not going to spoil the movie, but it's quite the adventure. Trying to see Mark is the character that I play, and he's kind of it's an interesting guy to see him trying to get out of what he was doing for so long and trying to do, I guess, the right thing. But that's we all hope for the best. But if it was like Scott was saying to Kevin Paul on the radio yesterday, or the other day, Thursday, yeah. If everything was to go well, it wouldn't be a fun movie to watch. Right. So everything has to go wrong.
Absolutely.
And it's got to be.
Yeah. Struggle is compelling.
That's right.
Did he owe a lot of money?
I'm sorry?
Did he owe a lot of money?
Oh, no.
Not very much.
He owed a ton of money.
Oh, a ton.
Well, it wasn't so much the money, it was...
it's the work.
It's the work.
Yeah.
These for one reason or the other, when I wrote the script, the different crime families, they had this like obsession with art. Yes. And I guess like being in this area, I mean, there's so many just beautiful pieces of art throughout, this general area of, Carmel, all the, the paintings, the sculptures and everything else. Like I really wanted to, capture that and really share that to the world, showing like, the kind of talented people who do these paintings and stuff locally.
Right.
And I was like, if these guys are just obsessed with art, but instead of buying it, they just hired Mark to go steal it. And so he would take it and then, and then he would kind of sell it to the highest bidder. So that's, I think, essentially where the crime families kind of hated each other, because he had this system of like, I have a warehouse, this is where I keep all the stuff, they never know about it or can't find it, and then I sell it to whoever's going to pay the highest price. And played by Kevin Paul. So Kevin, his character, the Russian guy, when I created him, I wanted a guy who's explosive and a guy who just was super happy or just super crazy, like explosive. And he played the role perfectly, exactly how I wanted it. And so, awesome. And then so my friend Micah Ward, he played the role of Benny Fang. Benny Fang is the Asian mob boss, and he kind of inherited his group of what is mobsters, I guess.
Him and his thugs.
His thugs.
Yeah.
And because his father kind of essentially started it all, and we shot his little hang around was the Chef Lee's over there in Monterey Seaside area.
Seaside.
Like North Fremont Street, I think. And we shot for months at Chef Lee's, and
it's good food.
Yeah,
it's great food.
Great food. Awesome. Shout out to Kim, Chef Lee's.
Right.
And they let us utilize the space for free.
Yeah.
But of course, every time we're there, we're buying food.
Yeah.
We're feeding the crew. We had our first table read there. I mean, it's just like everybody eats. We just bring out all the food we can. But they were super, super accommodating.
Yeah. And we're going to do
another table read there.
Yeah,
I'd like to check.
Yeah, that was
reread.
Right, that was actually where we had our first table read. And
yeah,
we had this initial cast and crew. That's where we had the table read. We had the main actors and actresses there. We had Eva Augustina Sano, Michael Ward, Tim Hunter. Who else am I forgetting? I'm trying
everybody
to everybody's
write
names.
down these names because these people are all going to blow up.
Yeah. Right, we'll see. Yeah.
And E.G. Daly, my very dear friend E.G. Daly, who plays Tommy Pickles in Rugrats. She's a very dear friend of mine, and she was kind enough to be in the movie as well.
She's cool.
in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. She was Dottie.
Wow.
She was in Valley Girl with Nick Cage.
Yeah.
So we had to go down to LA.
Loner Dottie.
Yeah.
A rebel. You're a rebel Dottie.
Come in.
Yeah. So we went down to LA and we did her scene, and it was just excellent. She did such a fantastic job. She's so sweet. I love being around her and hanging out with her. It's so much fun. And I remember when I wrote the script, I was just like, man, I would like to get someone like much more well known than me in this, but this is like maybe a pipe dream. I don't know. I'm trying to. I'm hoping and praying for it. But then I called her and I was like, hey, I need a favor. She's like, yes, I will be in your movie. And I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, it never hurts to ask. That's what I've learned in life. Is you just sometimes you don't ask, you won't know.
Actually, that's how we landed all our locations. All the locations we had were free.
By the
we
way,
just-
that's a perfect segue because my next question was going to be about that because I understand that you guys actually used local art.
We did.
dealers.
We just walked through the doors and was like, "Hey, we're filming a movie. Can we film a art heist here?" And we actually got told yes by every place we went to.
All they asked us, they were like, "Are you gonna blow anything up?" And we're like, "No, we're not. We don't
we're
have a
not
Michael
Michael
Bay
Bay.
budget yet."
But yeah, they
You
said
fix it in
yes.
post.
and,
Yeah.
yeah, always. Yeah, we were very, very lucky with that. You know, Chef Lee said yes. The multiple art studios said yes. Everywhere we went said yes, except there was a police station scene we didn't want to film, and every police station we went to, like, no.
Well, there's a slight conflict.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
why
like-
don't you get some of those locations scouted so that they can end up in future films also
Yeah.
besides your own?
Absolutely.
There's a like a army surplus on going towards Moss Landing.
Right.
We filmed a fantastic scene there.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was cool.
Oh, I can't
And-
wait to
and
see
again,
this
just-
movie.
Yeah, just walked in and just asked, they're like, "Hey, can we film a movie here?" And they're like, "Okay."
Sure.
Like, it was funny because everyone seemed like kind of surprised. They're like, "What? Why do you want to film here?" I'm like, "No, this is
Yeah.
perfect for
Place is
what
great.
we're looking for."
And the art studios only required that we put them on our insurance clause, which we had a sizable insurance clause.
Oh, okay, good.
That was it. It was the
And
only
then
condition.
feature them. Did they want to have their name featured in the movie?
They're in the credits,
Yeah.
and one of them's name specifically, like camera pans past their name on the wall.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Right.
yeah. We tried to show them and promote the local businesses as much as we could in the film. So indefinitely they're in the film. So we had
So
a few
when you
artists.
come watch the movie,
Mhm.
stay for the credits the
Yeah.
whole way
Are we
through.
gonna have popcorn?
We're gonna drum up some popcorn somewhere. We might have wood-fired pizza and popcorn.
Oh,
If
Some
that's a real
barbecue
thing.
too, I heard.
barbecue
We're
popcorn.
gonna have some barbecue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that'd
down
be
for
good.
that for sure.
Yeah, Aptos barbecue is amazing.
I was
I
telling
love
Brad, I
Aptos
eat a lot
barbecue.
of Aptos barbecue. It's my go-to place for barbecue.
Do you ever go there in the morning for the brisket tacos?
Yes.
I did not know that was even.
Oh no, it's a real thing.
Yeah, that's the. That's
And
the
you can't
way.
just have two. You have to eat like 6 of them.
Yeah. I always get my brisket tacos scrambled.
Yeah.
Really?
Instead of the sunny side how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be all like, I want mine scrambled.
There you go.
So it's pretty amazing.
I have to tell my fiance about that. She loves like tacos, street tacos. She's small and can eat more street tacos than
I mean, thank God it's Taco Tuesday every day. I can't go without eating tacos every day.
Well, over there if you ever live in LA, you end up being Taco Tuesday all the time
Yeah.
because of all the taco places.
Right.
But what you get for the morning taco with the brisket and the egg for that price, you can't even beat it. I mean, and the meat's just amazing because it was smoked.
Oh,
So like top notch.
I'm getting hungry just
I know,
thinking about
right?
it.
Yeah.
So-
Alright, so Aptos Barbecue is going to be providing some food for this event too, which is dynamite.
Sweet.
Thank you guys for putting that connection together. Let's get into the
Let's
whole
learn something about the
process of this movie.
Okay.
So, give us a timeline. You wrote the screenplay.
Yes.
You started that when?
So everyone knows what happened in 2020.
Right.
Yes.
The world kind of shut down. So I saw a lot of my friends in LA. I spent most of my life in Los Angeles. Everybody was selling their gear, cameras and lenses and all their equipment. And I took what I had, like in savings. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to buy a ton of gear and I'm going to see if I can just do something on my own. And I started writing a script. I started writing 2 scripts, and I can tell you about the next movie we're going to start at the end of this year. But for artwork, I started writing a script, and I was trying to think of what I could do. My father still lived in Monterey at the time, and I was like, well, I could maybe do a movie up there. So I started writing a script just about like what's very popular in around Monterey or Carmel, art.
Sure.
And so I was like, there's a ton of art studios. We could utilize that if they'll let us film there. So I just kind of came to it, and I started creating these, Mark the art thief, and he's just like, okay, well, maybe this guy's just, he's just, working for the crime families, but he doesn't want to. And then we need to have a little controversy. We need some problems to make it entertaining. And then I was like, okay, he works for a mobster, and then let's have him have a rival mobster, and then they kind of are forced to work with each other, but then they, I don't know, don't like each other. And so that's when I was like, okay, well, I can't do this by myself. I need cast and crew. So I posted a Craigslist ad. This is like end of 2020, beginning of 2021. and I posted an ad on Craigslist. I got a surprisingly a lot of responses. And people going like, "Hey, I want to do this." You know, I was like, "I can't pay you anything yet, but
Yeah.
it's something to do." And Chemo, nickname is Chemo, but Kevin reached out to me. He was one of the first to reach out to me. And the first thing you asked was, what kind of camera are you using?
Yeah.
I'm not doing this on an iPhone.
Well, we got a couple of iPhone 10s and we're
Yeah,
using
Yeah, because to go back to why I was talking about people selling the gear and stuff was because the camera I got, the RE Alexa, that's like, you know, a $20, $30, $50,000 camera. It's
Right.
it's like the flagship camera of Hollywood essentially. They use the RE Alexa for a lot of films, and I got that for like dirt cheap,
Right.
and I couldn't believe how much I got it for.
And lenses.
I don't even want to upset my
Yeah.
and the lenses too. I got a
Because the
little
glass
package deal.
sometimes can be as expensive
Right.
as the actual unit. Yeah.
And I don't want to upset my camera, my gear friends, because they're going to be upset if I tell them how cheap I got the camera
Sure.
for.
Keep that on the
A lot of
grounds,
times you go to rent the stuff and it'll be a lot of money to rent.
Yeah, yeah, and I bought
Right.
it, so I still got it. It's at my house now. But
Yeah,
so I called. So when Kevin called me and we talked about it, I told him the camera I had, and he's just like, "Okay, you have my interest." And then we just kind of snowball affected that. At first, it was supposed to be a little 5-minute short,
Yeah.
and that essentially is the beginning of the movie, because we were going to try to do like a little web show or something.
Sure.
But then once we got the first part done, like the first 5 minutes, I called them up and I was like, "No, we got to do a feature film. This to me is just, it's too good. We got to make this a feature film. We can't just do a little 5-minute."
Yeah.
Which
spot.
increased the difficulty tenfold.
Yeah, challenges in life are good though.
I'm pretty sure I was on the road. For work.
Yeah.
Hey, I got an idea.
Right.
We're gonna make a movie.
Yeah.
Now, so Kevin, did you have a background in acting, or how did you get a?
So I'm from the Seattle area originally. I had an agent and I did a small bit of acting back in 2007, but I
Were
did
you
have
in
children.
Sleepless in Seattle?
I was not.
Oh, okay.
I was not. A couple of commercials and some industrials for Microsoft, but at the time I did have children, and being an actor on the grind doesn't make a lot of money, so I joined the Army.
Oh,
So I have the military
you
background.
got some discipline then.
Right, a little bit, yeah.
So you're good with guns.
There's a lot of guns in my movie, and we
I
had.
did bring the guns.
Yeah, he brought a lot of the guns, but he was very good about briefing the safety of using them on set and
Absolutely.
everything. So I
Yeah.
really appreciated that.
Well, daily safety briefings with prop weapons.
Yes.
Also, again, it's always coincidental how things happen. We happen to be, doing our big gun scenes right after the Alec Baldwin incident.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
So, I'm getting everybody lined up before we shoot. This is what I have. These are
Yeah.
props. You
Yeah.
could not load these. You could not pull. You can pull the trigger, but nothing will happen.
Right.
Yeah, because they all track. I mean,
Yeah.
they got the weight. They're made of metal.
Right.
Yeah,
But you still want to make sure that the habits are there.
Sure. Safety
Yeah.
brief is always
Yeah.
real important.
Did you have to have a fire marshal on scene? Or?
No, so I contacted the police at one point. I said, "Hey, I've got prop weapons. They look legit." And they asked, "Well, you're going to be running around public with them?"
Right.
And while we were
No.
yeah.
Maybe.
So many nights of us running around with just guns everywhere. It was so funny.
But we were our the climax of the scene happens at the Portola Plaza down by the wharves.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we're in the parking structure underground. It's like, no, we're not gonna run around with ARs and stuff down the street. You're like, "All right, I'm cool."
Just
All
the
right.
parking
Yeah,
structure.
just parking structure.
But we did have, if I may interrupt, we did have on the rooftop of the Portola Plaza, because all the guests there, they could look out the window and they saw on the roof a whole gang of people with guns pointed at me, and they had two the detectives in the film. I'm not going to spoil it, but you could see they had badges around their necks to try and make them look legit. And I'll just say, the guests were very concerned when they would look out the window and see what was going on.
Yes.
Well, you guys had lights and
Yeah,
stuff.
the lights
We did have
cameras.
lights and cameras.
And you could see our crew and the camera guys, and there's a good amount. We had at one point 50 something people up on the rooftop at one point. There's a lot of people up there.
All you need is just one guy with a safety
Yeah.
vest, and then everybody goes.
Yeah,
okay,
that's true.
Yeah.
Should have had you back then.
I know. I'm a
All right, just
consultant.
put a consultant. Now we own a fee.
Yeah.
We're
No, I'll do it pro bono.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the way to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And
We'll
then,
feature you on the radio
There you go.
anytime.
Excellent.
So the other funny story was when we were filming in the Venture Art Gallery. So I had, as the art thief, when I'm doing the thing, I had my mask on and like my whole outfit, which is essentially all black, and had this like, you know, this what a steampunk type mask, which is really cool because I saw it on the wharf, and they only made 2, and so the other one was sold because I was trying to buy them both because I just didn't want anybody to be able to have it because I wanted it to be exclusive. I was like, I'm going to make a movie with this mask. That's essentially how this all started. But I was in the art gallery and we were shooting my robbery scene, and so the art gallery was closed and there were still tourists walking by. And at one point, they called the cops, and we look up because the camera guys were like hidden because it was dark, and there was a lot of reflection from the paintings, everything. So you could see lighting, people standing, like the camera guys and whatnot. So when they were like, you know, kind of hidden while filming me doing the first heist, and all the people outside started filming it on their phones because they thought the place was actually getting robbed. And then they called the police. Yeah, it was really, and that was like day one, and I was like, Kevin, here we go.
Were
It's
you
gonna
able
be
to
a
get
long
any
shoot.
of that footage?
No, I
That'd
wish
be
we
great,
did.
Yeah.
Right, that could have made the movie.
Yeah,
right there.
exactly.
Just put that in there.
Yeah.
A cop showing up. You're busted.
Yeah.
No, bro, it's a
Right.
movie.
Yeah.
So you're gonna hold on to that prop, and just a side note to the listeners, that prop will be
Yeah,
worth
I'm gonna
about
sell it $5 million.
Oh yeah.
about
I'm kinda
$5
big right now.
million. Yeah.
I'll
Or-
take 5.
Yeah.
I'll settle for 3 if you want. But the mask is pretty
dollars
cool.
or million?
3 million.
Oh, okay.
Three
Gotcha. I thought
Later on,
I
when
thought we
you
were
know,
getting bargain prices right now.
well, you are getting bargain
Yeah.
prices. Later on, we're tired of doing the acting and we're done making movies and whatnot. I'll take Victor Surkov's Adidas tracksuits
Excellent.
and I'll put those on.
Excellent.
You know,
What
probably-
size are those? I'm just wondering.
Perfect.
Yeah, well, you know, everybody put on a little bit of weight during the pandemic.
Gosh. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, your background with movies and acting. You living in LA, you said
Yeah.
before?
So when I was a kid, I used to steal the family video camera, like for Christmas morning, you know, by the tree. My dad would set it up, my mom, and then we'd unwrap her presents. I would always steal the camera, and it was funny. I didn't, and I'd make my own little skits with my new toys and stuff when I was a kid, and I didn't realize what I was doing. I just thought it was fun to like film the crash the trucks and low cars or whatever toys I would get when I was a kid, and then started doing a lot of dirt bike videos. And then from the dirt bike videos we would do skits in between because I used to ride dirt bikes in my youth, semi-professionally. And then when I moved to LA when I was like 18, 19, I just started, you know, going to every audition I could. I lived in my car on Hollywood Boulevard for on and off for a few months, just trying to make it and do it, you know.
Excellent.
And it was,
wouldn't be a Hollywood story if you didn't.
Right.
You got in your car.
yeah. Not a lot of people know that about me. I'm kind of quiet with my personal life. I don't tell a lot of people. Now here I am saying it on the radio. So,
We're not sure if anyone's listening.
Yeah, right. Now it's like 6 more
Yeah.
people.
I think my parents are the only people listening right now.
Yeah, good. Hi, Mom and Dad.
Yeah. Hey mom, shout out
Hey,
mom
Mama,
and dad.
Mama Coffey.
Mama Coffey, and Kevin, and Pop. So movies, shows, whatever I could get, you know, auditioning as much as I could, and then pandemic, and tried to figure out what I could do. So then I wrote the script, and I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go up to my dad's house and take care of my father because he's 93. His birthday is tomorrow. So
Oh,
he's 93
happy
tomorrow.
birthday.
Yeah.
And it's Father's Day.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
So
oh no, he's the 19th. Tomorrow's Father's Day. His
Okay.
birthday's the 19th. And he's gonna be 93. Yeah.
Wow. Well, happy meeting.
So
Happy birthday, Pop.
yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shout out to Gemini's.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
that's
go.
Right. And but yeah, so that's it. Yeah, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. Just like, you know, and then odd jobs, random things. And LA is a different animal. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
You gotta. I had a good talk with Scott about it because you know, he's in Marina Del Rey, but we had a good talk about just what you have to do to make it, or just to get by while trying to be a starting actor, director, filmmaker, even musicians.
Yeah,
you know.
he's done a lot of dark
Where
stuff.
were you in Southern California?
Where wasn't I? Jesus.
Did you live all over?
Yeah, I started Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach, Studio City, Los Feliz, Glendale, Burbank, Van Nuys, Panorama City, Hollywood, West Hollywood. I lived everywhere.
Yeah, I grew up
The Valley?
in the San Fernando Valley as a kid.
Oh,
and
cool.
they moved me to Santa Cruz.
Nice.
Really?
Not a bad move. Not a
I
bad move.
lived in Sylmar, Northridge, Chatsworth, Woodland Hills, Zeno.
Yeah. I
lot of
do
different
like this.
places.
I do like Woodland Hills.
Yeah.
I do like that area. That's
So-
kind of separate.
I was down there after the earthquake. I foundation restoration is one of my specialties for insurance work, and I went down there in the '94 earthquake and was down there for about 3 years, and it was one of the most spectacular times in my life. The people that I came in contact with as an adult.
Wow.
Because I got to work on really high-end homes through Pacific Palisades, Beverly Hills, Studio City. Worked for a lot of different people and a lot of different industries and how they all intermix. And then being in the San Fernando Valley, you see a lot of interesting things.
I'll bet.
I was privileged to be kind of in the location when they ripped off the robbers were robbing the bank in over on Las Vegas at the time, on 3 units over there, and we were driving back to Chatsworth because that's where our yard was, and we would drive through North Hollywood. That would be like the easiest pathway through there, and the shooting started happening, and their like streets started stopping in that location. And then later on, after we got through a couple streets and we're back going towards Chatsworth, that's when I heard on the radio what was going on.
Yeah, didn't they take like muscle relaxers or something when I when I worked at a bar in my early 20s? I was bartending, and I remember there was one of the door guys at this bar. He was a U.S. Marshal,
Okay.
and he told me about that. And he was kind of just like checking. I guess they put on armor. They took muscle relaxers, and like they were getting shot and they didn't even feel it or something. Like it was
Yeah, it took them a while to
Yeah,
take them down.
it's
Speaking,
wild.
by the way, that was an absolutely perfect, unintentional segue back to the movie, which is called Artworks.
Yes.
It's about a heist, art heist.
Right.
Which
A
is
couple heists.
A couple heists.
Yeah.
And I just want to say on community college, this is exactly the kind of thing that we're talking about. It's people who are out doing stuff, creating in the community, which is a perfect example of what you guys did. You took an unmade movie and made it from the ground up. So it started with, if I'm getting this correct, it started with you seeing a mask.
Yes.
Would you say that's sort of the
Yes.
the beginning of the?
Yes. I saw this store at the front of at the wharf in downtown Monterey.
Down on Monterey,
And I was just
touristy area there.
yeah, and I was just there with my dad. I think I was just getting dinner with him, and we were leaving, and I saw this mask in the window. I was like, that'd be really cool in a movie.
Absolutely.
So I got it, and then I was just sitting there with it on my desk, and I had like my paper out, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna write a movie script, and I was just like, okay, this guy's with a mask, and then just kind of, I don't want to spoil the movie, but it just kind of started, like, and the words just kept flowing, and I was like, okay, this come together.
You know what? I think I was down in Monterey in about the same time, and I think I saw the same mask, and yet I didn't write a screenplay. So
Right.
hats off to you.
Yeah.
Now with your writing process, I know there's some people who are probably interested in this. Do you keyboard, pen and paper, old school typewriter? What's your technique?
So the first 5-minute thing initially that I had for the little pilot that we were going to do, I wrote all that on paper. But then I have another program, Celtex is what I use to
Yes.
on the keyboard to write the script on my computer. So I kind of just I wrote it out first, and then I kind of then transferred it over digitally. So
Celtex for the listeners, and
Yeah.
I'm not an expert. I only know this because of Scott Gold, our producer extraordinaire, who's quite a thespian himself. Is an online what is it? It's sort of a draft screenplay writer that helps with
Yeah,
formatting.
Script software.
Yeah.
And then you can also collaborate with people. It's great software.
Yeah, we're doing that now with the our next project.
yeah.
But can also, it has like multiple tabs. You can do shot lists. I mean, it's pretty user friendly.
It's a great program.
Shout out Celtex.
Yeah. Shout out to Celtex.
Celtex,
Send some checks.
Mhm.
Celtex.
Yeah. There you go.
Have you sold your movie to any big studio?
Oh, and another perfect segue. You're really good at this.
Yeah.
Wow. so
Crushing it.
we're and I'd like to announce now where the movie is now officially live. It's
Awesome.
public now. It was just released Kevin, a couple days ago.
A couple days ago,
Yeah, a
yeah,
couple
we
days ago.
went live on
Yeah.
a few different platforms.
Yeah, a few different platforms.
Yep.
And we're going to announce that now if his phone will load.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So we have been licensed with Stash TV, which is it's a YouTube. I don't know if it's YouTube Pay, but Stash Thrills and Chills. And we got picked up by Popsy, Caribou, which is a VR. If that's everything's VR these days. Watching movies in your VR headset,
Oh,
you can just
cool,
click
yeah.
on it. But we've recently been licensed by Apple TV and Amazon Prime.
Hey,
Awesome.
congratulations,
Thank you.
guys.
Congratulations, that's huge.
I'm not sure when those are going live because
Okay.
those processes are a little.
Take a little bit.
Yeah, they take a little more.
Oh,
The QC process. So we've been licensed by them, and now it's just every day is a new email.
Yeah.
Hey, you got this. Hey, you got that. But
Right.
we have those licenses, and we are live
Yeah.
on Popsy,
Yeah.
Reveal, and Stash Thrills and Chills.
Yeah. And
So
now we're
we're
just
gonna
playing the
next.
waiting game.
Do you
Yeah.
think that you're gonna go to Cannes and see if you can pitch it there?
Oh yeah, I'll just call up Spielberg real quick. Mind taking a look at my movie?
Sure.
That'd be great.
George Lucas is just up in your county.
Hey, it doesn't hurt to ask. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right, exactly.
I've heard
You know,
wilder stories.
yeah,
where
and-
people
Yeah, and so
stuff like that.
yeah, and so I did have so a very dear friend of mine. She and her father plugged me in with Alan Silvestri, as a matter of fact, when I was doing my movie, and he sat at my desk with me and he watched the film and he really liked it as well.
So real quick, Alan Silvestri, he just
Yeah,
dropped.
thank-
Yeah.
I just
Sorry,
pretended
real
I
quick.
knew who that
Alan
was.
Silvestri
Yeah.
is a Academy Award-winning composer.
Wow.
He did the composition for Avengers, Predator. I mean, the list is pretty
Goes
long.
on
Yeah,
and on.
it does.
Yeah,
But
incredible musician.
If you know people that know composers for the most part, and they're like, give your top five, he's probably on that list of top five.
Yeah.
You know, Hans Zimmer, John Williams, obviously is number one.
Yeah.
Alan Silvestri.
Did he help you with the music?
No, he was essentially. I wish. It wasn't in the budget. I don't think they could afford it.
spend any
Right.
more money.
Yeah. No, but he was just kind of. It was a friend of a friend. He just kind of I just wanted some pointers, just something like him look at, and he liked it, and he's such a kind man, and he was just I felt so lucky that that I had him just next to me at my desk watching my first film, and he had some very kind words, very informative, and just an absolute sweetheart of a man, and had a lot of knowledge with the movie business, and obviously he's been in it forever, and hearing that from him was very mentoring for me, and I just loved every second of it, and hearing that from him when he was just like this movie was it was incredible that you did this with what you had to work with, and it's like hearing that I was like, okay, real quick, I used to play the Forrest Gump song on my guitar when I was a kid, and I loved it. I was just fanboying out for a second, but it was pretty rad.
That's awesome. Well, it's also about making connections, so maybe on the next one.
100%. The entire business is about the connections.
It's all about connections.
You guys, even probably on the radio side as well as like the film, TV side. It's the relationships you can build.
Yeah.
Because
and that's why we're thrilled to have you guys in here.
Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure to be here.
Honored to be here.
Yeah, you
I do
guys-
want to point out that we made this movie for a little over $8,000.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Budgets are.
That's a real point of pride right there.
Yeah.
Because when you see what we've accomplished on that sort of budget, we're hoping that people will watch that and be like,
Well, look what happened
Yeah.
with Blair Witch. I mean,
Right.
Blair Witch
Right.
was like a real tight
mm-hmm.
budget, and it did what, 100 million or something.
More than that. I mean, Paranormal Activity, produced by Jason Blum. He
Right.
produced that movie for $15,000, made $230 million in the box office.
Yeah.
That's a decent
Now
return.
Bloomhouse Films.
Yeah.
And that's the type of stuff that
Right.
is amazing that people can get into making films and things now on a tight budget, and then it makes a tremendous amount of money. Because we're living in the golden age of what you could possibly do.
Absolutely. Everyone has a nice, even the iPhone, 13 or 14, whatever they're having now, has a fantastic camera.
Right.
You can get editing software for free online,
Absolutely.
that can do the job. So the market can be saturated with a ton of great creative people.
Right.
So you find yourself your team, you make a product.
Absolutely.
And then we have powerhouses that will help you get going, because Apple and Amazon all want to be huge in the studio business.
Yes, they want to be the streamers. So if you're directing traffic and views to their platform, you
Right.
create that relationship. Hey, remember last time when I did great for you?
Yes,
I'd like to do great for you again.
Absolutely.
That
Yeah.
sort of thing.
because
So,
Let's
A lot
get
of them
a
do
let's
content.
get some
pitches
let's
for
get
you.
some contact stuff out for you. Is there a website for the movie
So right now we just have
or a
our
Facebook page
just
or Instagram?
IMDb. We just have
IMDb.
yeah.
Yep.
Artwork
Alright.
is on IMDb. We just have
resource.
that. I mean, like Kevin Paul was saying, we don't really have the budget for
Sure.
websites and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
the
And
pennies are gone.
Yeah, the pennies
Yeah.
are gone. Pennies are
Well,
gone.
even it's now everything is so much simpler too, because you don't necessarily need all that.
yeah.
Right.
We just kind
right.
of share it on our social medias.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
I'm available on social media at it's Kevin Paul, so it's _Kevin_Paul on Instagram.
Excellent.
Nice.
If you want to have an actor in your Instagram friends list,
Absolutely.
Or a great
Right.
producer.
Yeah.
He was if he does his job properly, I'll never know about it. So when I was busy directing or like acting with my cast and everything else behind me, he was handling that, and so it was a very very good kind of yin yang every night on set or every day on set, and so all the stuff I didn't have to worry about. This was really funny. Another funny story. We were filming on the wharf, and I did purchase a film permit for the wharf, and when we were there shooting, for one reason or the other, this lady just wouldn't leave. She was
Yeah.
parked right where we were filming, and she wouldn't leave. And so, my camera guy was setting up the camera and the lights and everything, and then Kevin was running around handling, everything else while I was dealing with the actors and our blocking and where the scene was kind of essentially taking place. And so this lady just wouldn't leave or something. So he just walks up and he has the film permit. And he slaps it on her window, and he goes, "Yeah, this right here means you gotta go." And then she's like, "I'm gonna call the police." He's like, "Do my job for me. That's fine." The police showed up and told her to leave. It was great.
Yeah.
Nice.
You need a permit
Yeah.
to film here.
And it was incredible how many people were trying to stop us from doing this film.
Yeah.
Like
Is that weird how many people you run into that are rude about something you're trying to do?
Right. Or just,
Or just
if I was
trying to
Dwayne
be
Johnson, they wouldn't give you
obstacles?
that kind of attitude.
Yeah. You do look a bit like Dwayne Johnson.
Well,
Same
hey,
look,
that's a
same look,
compliment.
everything. Yeah. How did you guys have to get permits for a lot of locations, or was that one of the
Well,
few that you
it
got?
was when we were in public. We got that permit, and then we just tried to use that for everywhere else we went,
Right.
and somehow it worked.
Yeah,
We're like, no,
yeah,
we got a film permit right here.
Yeah. It was a permit for one day, but if anyone's like, "Hey, you need a permit,"
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
and
perfect.
yeah, and
That's not
Kevin
what
and Kevin would just hold his thumb over the date to show it
Right.
wasn't like
Yeah,
6 months
So you're
expired.
gonna just photocopy that and use it for the next shoot.
100%. They don't come to
How'd you know?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of the next shoot, are you guys able to talk about that? What's your
Yeah, I
next
can.
project?
So,
Yeah.
so I wrote another script, and it's called Point of the Pines. It is a drama thriller about a English teacher who used to be a biker, who is mourning the loss of his late wife, and then discovers a ghost at the cemetery, who then gets him to help him solve his murder and his family's. He had a wife and a daughter who was killed, and they went missing. And so the ghost comes back and finds him to try and help him figure that out. So and that also unravels a lot of things, because you got to have controversy, you got to have problems that need to be solved, you got to have drama. But this one's very serious. Artwork has that thriller with comedic undertones.
Absolutely.
Point of the Pines is going to be like very very dark.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be doing a lot of crying in that movie. There's going to be a lot of yelling, fighting,
Yeah.
and so it's that one. I'm very excited for, because I'm going to get to challenge myself amongst all the other people. Kevin is going to play sheriff, and so it's going to challenge him as well, because there's a character arc between the two of how essentially he was there when his wife was killed, and essentially, I don't want to give too much away,
Sure,
but
yeah,
like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
this push and pull between
Right.
Frank is the teacher that I would play, and then Sheriff Morgan is what Kevin's going to play, and I won't announce what other actors we're going to be getting in for this one. But
does Sheriff Morgan have some kind of an accent? How are you gonna approach that?
I don't know. We're thinking maybe Tommy Lee Jones, U.S. Marshals type.
Okay. Where's he
where's
from?
your happy face? This is my happy face.
Where's he from originally? This
Sheriff Morgan, wherever Brad tells me he's from. See, I'm the one that's doing the fighting and the yelling. He's the one that's doing the crime.
Yeah.
Sheriff Morgan is doing the crime.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
I mean, I guess that's for Kevin to decide where he comes from. Is it sheriff
Artistic
in
freedom.
Yeah,
Australia.
sure.
Yeah.
That's
Australia.
point. Yeah, point. Oh, that would be a twist.
I'm the sheriff.
Look out!
Look out.
Mike.
Travis's
Shrimp on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, and
That's all the Dundee I got.
There you
that's
go.
all the Dundee.
Yeah, that's
That's no life.
But I like to give that actor the freedom to you decide where he's from.
Done.
He's in a small town.
Sure.
Everyone
Decide
knows him.
right now and go.
Yeah, right now.
Billings, Montana.
There you go. Beautiful place.
Perfect.
Yep.
Beautiful place.
Yeah.
So
Where
do you have
Tommy Lee Jones doesn't live.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you got to put budget to fly to Billings.
Yeah, now we
to
gotta
fill
go.
his backstory.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, thanks for adding that up for me.
Right.
Yeah, great. Now it's going to cost more money that we don't have
Oh,
already.
that's right. No.
But so that's so essentially that's kind of like and then they throughout the movie it's we follow Frank with this specter rather that is trying to give him clues to help him, like the last thing I remember, but the ghost doesn't speak. And he's going to be pretty gnarly looking, like because he was essentially pinned for his wife and daughter's murder, but I don't
Did you
know.
not give the entire movie away?
And then the ending is great. Let me tell you all about it. So, but anyway, so
And so you got Patrick Swayze to play the ghost.
Patrick Swayze's gonna
Exactly.
be ghost.
And there's a penny scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent.
I mean, I'm assuming he'll have the time of his life when he's
Yeah.
filming
Did you
something.
get
Man, look at this guy.
Yeah.
I'll get pictures.
Yeah. And then the comedy, the comic relief is going to be Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Perfect. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We are, we still, between filming and whatnot of the films that we're doing, we are working on smaller things. So we have a YouTube show that we've been doing.
Let's plug it.
It's called Therapist. and Brad plays my therapist. My character is I suppose you could use the term, in today's terms, a beta male.
Okay.
Pretty beta. So he's trying to man me up a little bit.
In the
there's
worst
antics.
ways
He's
possible.
Not a great therapist.
under beta, over beta?
Under beta.
Yeah.
And the wife's like, "Did you make lunch?" No, I'm doing it now.
We did a Christmas episode, and he's showing me as the therapist. I just I'm trying to do all my own antics, and he's trying to do the Christmas tree lighting, and then baking cookies and chocolate, the hot cocoa with the whipped cream and all that stuff. And we have this funny thing, but then there's another episode where it's he's trying to split from his wife, so I'm trying to teach him how to split with an axe, but I end up just having him cut all my own firewood for free, and then I leave, and so it's and then this other one that's about to drop, hashtag shout out to Salvatore Carbone. Sal, he played the rancher. So this one that's about to come out in a couple days, we're almost done with it. So I play Dr. Linsby, he's Mr. Matthews, and I'm working on a tractor, and he shows up, he's like, "What's this all about?" And he's just like, "Okay, if you want to be good to your wife, you need to know how to fix things. You want to be able to fix, if you're in your car, you're driving, long distance, whatever, you're driving, your car breaks down and you can't fix it, and essentially trying to teach him, there's you got to watch it when we release it, so it'll make sense, because I'm just blabbering about, but
Yeah, no.
and then Sal comes up, he's the rancher, he goes, "Hey, what the hell are you doing here?" And he's just like, "Get off my property," because we're just working on tractors, not even his, and then he just ends up picking the shit out of us.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. But it's-
Gratuitous violence.
Yeah.
So that's on YouTube. Is there a link?
YouTube, my Instagram is @BradCoffey_. Lock the drink.
C or K?
EY.
Coffey,
COFFEY. Like John Coffey.
The YouTube channel is his name, just
Yeah.
Brad Coffey. And
Okay.
Lock
And
the
that's
drink,
where
just
you
not
can-
spelled the same.
You can get a little sneak peek of some of the.
Yep, the
stuff
trailer
you
for
worked on.
Artwork's on there.
Yeah.
And you can watch Therapist episode 1 through 7.
That's right.
7's my favorite episode.
Have you pitched it to any independent film festivals?
No, we just do it
Wait,
for fun.
The Therapist or Artwork?
Just all of it.
So Artwork actually has won multiple film festivals, and we got selected on the biggest one we got selected for was Cannes International. They do a quarterly online film festival, and we got official selection. We didn't win, but I think of the 6 that we've been selected for, we've won 3 of them.
Yeah, and we got
Amazing.
Wow.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you guys.
Yep.
That's like huge.
I
Yeah.
can't believe Scott got you guys to do the premiere here. I'm excited. I can't wait. So June 22nd, here at KSCO, live on the back patio. I believe we'll be rolling the film at about 8 p.m.
Yes.
It'll be just getting dark enough.
Right.
It'll still have the ocean in the background. I'm just trying to paint a picture for
Yeah.
people.
Tickets
We're gonna-
are $3,000.
Yeah.
It's our
We'll have-
$3,000 to $4,000
Yeah, we'll have-
for the premiere gold seating.
Gold package.
There you go.
Recoup film costs.
Now, I know
That's-
we're gonna have 2 of the actors here, you guys. Is there any other cast members who are gonna be?
There will be a few other casts that I invited, and we will have the red carpet here with the backdrop, so people that are coming, they'll be able to take photos.
Fantastic.
And at 7 p.m. is when everyone's going to be showing up to meet and greet, have some barbecue, eat, drink, have a good time, and then kind of we'll settle in around like 8 o'clock is when we'll start the movie. Because also it's still going to be kind of light out, so
Yeah.
I mean the later the better.
Yeah,
But around 8 o'clock is when it'll be a hard start to the film.
So people won't mind a little
autographs.
sunset in the background.
No.
You don't always get that.
Little
so.
sunset.
We're trying to do the Cannes vibe here.
Yeah, exactly.
Beachfront, all that
Wow,
stuff.
I think it's beautiful. I saw
And
it.
we're gonna have celebrities.
Yeah, we got a couple celebrities coming.
It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm thrilled. I love.
I'm very excited.
I love
I love
movies.
movies.
I love-
Oh, man, I can't wait for you to
kinds
see
of
it.
movies.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
movie buff.
We originally when we did a private premiere at Del Monte Mall at the theater. I rented out the theater, and we showed it to just the family and friends. It was
Nice.
just to show
Yeah,
what
it
we
was
did.
not open to public.
And it was not open to public. It was very,
Yes.
very private. But we did the little red carpet screen, all that stuff there, and there was like a lot of. The projector didn't like the movie because it took me a while to learn how to do it, but I learned and I put it in DCP format, which is digital
Okay.
cinema package,
Nice.
and I learned how to do that on my own. University of YouTube, I guess, and forums online, and
Yeah.
so Kevin and I, we just for months, and my DP Izzy Costantino, shout out Izzy, my camera guy, guy's an absolute workhorse, and he just would have this 150,000 pound camera on his shoulder all night and just like not complain once and just get it done. Izzy was the best. But so we were up in the projection room trying to get this camera, or not the camera, the video on his laptop working on the projector, and it just had these red flashes throughout the premiere. So it was like, oh, it's embarrassing. But people still enjoyed the film, and afterwards they applauded, and I was just like, because I was so nervous, I was like, what'd you think? Like, did you, 'cause this is my first big thing, and I was like, did you guys like it? What'd you think? They're like, dude, it was so funny. It was so fucking funny. Can I say that on here?
No, probably not.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine, sorry. We'll just edit
No
that out.
S or F's.
Yeah, F's.
You said
Fudge.
with
I
a
said
D,
fudge.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're gonna. This is your first feature.
Yeah.
Are you gonna Tarantino it and like set? So you're gonna do 8. You're gonna go lucky 13.
Don't put a number on it.
Or are you just gonna go until the wheels fall off?
I think I like the idea of like just doing one movie a year.
Okay.
If you
Clint
could,
Eastwood style.
yeah, just like
Yes.
like relatively like small budget, short shoot, big movie.
Excellent.
Yes.
That's going to be our plan moving forward is small budget, short shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 million, 3 million or lower, 45 days shoots
Mhm.
or less.
And just-
Blumhouse
yeah.
did that.
That's exactly what Blumhouse does, yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys seem to have a great working relationship.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep working together.
Yeah. I'm stuck with him.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
Okay.
you're stuck with
All
me.
right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you guys feel free to throw in.
I don't
some
like the guy.
tension, too,
Yeah,
you know
it's
what
a
I
little
mean?
tension.
I don't like the guy, but he's got
It's
points.
true. not everyone can be a great actor.
Yeah.
There you go.
Must be. It's kind of hard being me. You got to speak everyone's
yeah.
language.
I have a face for radio.
That's great. Well, we can't wait to. We cannot wait to see this movie, and I think you guys have some fans for life. We can't wait to follow you guys. You always have a home here at KSCO.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna definitely. We love promoting people who are doing stuff. That's what community potluck is all about.
Yes. And amazing talent.
You know.
What you guys
And
do.
as a matter of fact, we our track record speaks for itself. We've brought on some local businesses who've
Done
expressed after the fact, hey, you know, I got like 2 or 3 callers, 8 callers, 12 callers who, you know, heard us on the air. And
Yeah.
so hopefully if people can't make it to the premiere, at least they check you guys out on YouTube. They check
That'd be great.
your Instagrams and your, so
Well,
let's plug those one more time just so we get people to,
Yeah.
we're pretty close to having a script lock for the next one, so we will do first round investors soon on the next
I
film.
like
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Just a little bit polishing.
Yep.
You can follow me, Kevin Paul, the executive producer, on Instagram. It's _Kevin_Paul.
And for me, director, Brad, at Brad Coffey _ COFFEY _.
The movie is called Artworks.
Artwork. Yes.
Artwork.
Yes, sir. Artwork.
It's a heist movie. Just giving a little background vibe. This song is not in the movie, but
I
it's
can't wait
about,
for you guys to see it.
But it relates
honestly.
to it.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward.
Yeah. And I know who your
I'm
favorite character will be, so.
I'm an every Tuesday movie watcher.
Really?
Yeah, I would go to the movies every Tuesday religiously with one of my buddies to see new movies.
I love
We would
that.
watch anything, but like anything that
well, you're
came
gonna have
out.
to adjust because there's gonna be a Saturday.
It's
Well,
especially
yeah.
Saturday, yeah.
But that was one of our things we did. Like, hey, let's go to the movies because
Yeah.
it was something to get out of work and like just go somewhere where it was isolated.